Hi guys, this is Luthais, and yes, sorry for being gone for such a long time, but I scrapped my series on the first person server because I can't play with 1 to 5 players on a 50-man server. So I was frustrated for a very long time, but I decided on this video that's directed at the Miscreated developers. And yes, I need to get this message through. At the moment, it's in the afternoon. We've got one server that's got 39 players on. So basically, we haven't got one full server. Guys, it's very frustrating because Miscreated has got everything that it needs to be a phenomenal game. It's got the environment. It's got the graphics. It's still got Hayward Valley and Cape Bay, which is a bit unoptimized, but we can get past that. Never mind the lag at the moment, that's just a glitch with my recording. It doesn't happen on any other game except Miscreated. So yes, Miscreated is a bit resource intensive. But guys, Miscreated has got great weather. It's got a great world. Marco did a brilliant job. You know, doing the level designing on this map, and yes, it immerses you completely, and then you run into something like this, a block base in the middle of nowhere. Now guys, don't get me wrong, I've done my best to get my concerns through to the Discord channel. And Matt and Sheeprons has basically come back to me with things that they are planning. And there are a lot of guys that understand what I'm saying. But then again, there's some breaks on this somewhere else. I don't know if it's right at the top, but yes, I think at the moment we need to get past our own egos and just look at what's happened up to this point and just agree. Everyone should just agree at some point that what is happening isn't working at the moment, okay? You guys gave them more crates to hoard more things. It didn't help the game. You guys put in prone, which everyone was supposed to be waiting for. That didn't change the game. No one's rushing back in. You guys are working on a dynamic world with opening doors and stuff like that. And I'm sorry to say it, guys, but that's not going to let the people rush back either. The core of the game that you guys wanted to make years ago is gone. You guys didn't even want bases in your game. That was asked of you. But now you are protecting hoarders. Not people who are trying to make nice creative bases and trying to enhance what your level designers have made, but break it down by putting blocks of junk in the road or stacking bases on platforms or columns and making it impossible for the loot to be distributed. Making it impossible almost to see one vehicle. The only time you're going to see a vehicle is if a big horde has come online, because they only need to come online once a month because they've got a base of 250 parts, and they decide to, you know, take one of their rigs out, like an armored vehicle or a buggy or something, and have some fun with it. And they don't care about losing it because they'll just make sure, you know, they get it back at some point. So for the small groups and the single players, the people who love a lone wolf experience, or 1 or 2 players, even a group of 3 guys, I've seen groups of 10 people running around. Clans building bases next to each other, like 6 250 part bases that's blocked closed. with all the vehicles in there and all the tents and everything. And then we're supposed to be happy with exploring locations like this where not all the lockers even work. Okay, I can't even interact with a lot of the lockers. Most of the lockers have nothing in them. There's nothing that inspires me to go to a town or the Derby's little office here. There's nothing hidden behind the painting, although that was a great idea, putting items behind paintings. But again, there's a lot of things here that I can't interact with. Okay? So why must I ever come here again? If I know there's nothing to interact with. What, for a chem light? What is a chem light doing in a drawer, guys? Put a chem light in a rubbish bag. Okay, there's a lot of junk that you can put in the black bags. But again, nothing to interact with. Here's a nice cabinet here. It looks like it could have some cool shit in it. Maybe it just got power. But the boxes, there's another thing. You can put great things in boxes. Vehicle parts, pipes. Bottles are great for black bags. But think about what you can find in boxes, like guns and ammo and different things, unique items. Okay? Some of these boxes must have unique items in them, guys. The junk piles must have something in there that's been thrown in there. We need to make the route relevant. So making it realistic as to what I can find in a black bag, what I can find in boxes, what I can find in cupboards, what I can find in couches, underneath beds. Now that I can prone, give me something to find underneath the bed. Okay, you guys did make open boxes that has suppressors and cool gear in it, but that's only for the open boxes. Give me an incentive to search through all the other boxes as well. Okay, don't make it difficult for me to jump into a corner of a wall like I'm going to show you upstairs. That makes it frustrating for me to find a hidden object. Okay, since you're gonna start with a dynamic world, make it so that I can interact with a lot more things and so that I can find various unique items. Make it so that I can craft a lot of items, like suppressors. For Pete's sake, let me craft a sight for my bow. Okay, because the guys with crossbows are having no problem killing people, and me, that's maybe a Rambo fan that likes to use a bow, I can't shoot to save my life because I need about 50 arrows of training, you know, before I can get a pure headshot on a moving target. So please, you know, help me to craft something for a bow. Help me to craft sights, silencers, attachments, you know, that will help you with aiming or recoil. Spears, you know, different things that I will be able to craft in the outdoors to protect myself. Even a stone knife. Okay, just give me more things to craft. Like right here, guys, if you guys don't know, there are items in this box, but it's a pain in the butt to see what's inside that box. It's extremely frustrating. Okay, rather make me search the bed, you know, the mattresses or the boxes to find, you know, an epic item, or large cabinets. Give me safes that are hidden in a certain place so that I must search the safe. Like at the back of houses when I have to climb onto the junk to get into the roof. Put something between that junk that I have specifically have to search that certain item to get something great. Okay? Don't make me climb a roof and 90% of the time I'm not going to find anything on top of the roof. Okay? Trust me, even on empty servers, when I'm lucky I'll probably get a pistol. Okay? But normally there's nothing in this tent. Sometimes there's a gun on that wood. And all I can get from sleeping bags is a rag. There's never a surprise of maybe a rifle that was hidden in there. or a whiskey bottle that was hidden in there. Yeah, there's very little surprises because I more or less know what I'm going to get everywhere. And I'm in Pinecrest. Okay? Not one person, guys. If there's a person, yeah, he's hiding. But we're sitting with 40 people on the server and no one's at Pinecrest. Where could they be? I don't know. Maybe at the checkpoints because you put all the loot there and you made it so that no experienced player is going to waste his time here except for if he got the loot at the checkpoints and just comes here to kill a bunch of Bambis. Or players that are looking for a fight but hasn't got nearly the gear that they have. And of course, they just come back here because they want to spawn in the same area. So if they're a clan and they come down to the south, they want to kill some people, but if they get killed, you know, they want a buddy to come pick them up or whatever, or they want to get back to their body as soon as possible. And that will be a bit more difficult when they're fighting in the north. Okay, so just the hardcore fighters fight in the north, and the hoarding clans clearly fight in the south, making it negative for most players. Guys, I hope you're getting the point here. I really do. Because I can't stress this point enough. The mutants, at a certain point, isn't a threat. And their behavior, I mean, what was he going for there? He ran around me, didn't even run at me. I know he must try and dodge when I try and shoot him, but he was up against me. And, you know, it's difficult to hit him because what he's doing isn't making sense to me. And the hit markers are frustrating as well. Look at this poor guy. Best thing he could do is play guitar. You know, get naked, have some fun. Like all the crazy people on Discord, you know, complaining that it's too easy to break into a base. Or the fanboys that says everything is perfect. Are you freaking blind? Nothing is perfect at the moment, okay? Look at the Steam charts. We're sitting with a 24-hour peak of 612 players when we had an all-time peak of 4,500 players. Okay? So January of last year, we had places where 4,000 and more players were playing on a daily basis. Now we're sitting with 612 people. Last 30 days, we're sitting with a peak of 715. The last 30 days, we had a peak of 715 players, guys. Open up your eyes. You put in the crates. Right there, you can see the crates came in. It went up by 15% and 3%. And then it went down 11, 28, and 17. It gives you a combination of a 56%. More than half your player base is gone. And no, guys, that is not just because of scum. Okay? Everything is not scum's fault. You put in prone as well. So if that was the problem, if crates and prone and, you know, things that you think or that these people on Discord are telling you is a problem, if that was the problem, it would have made a difference. But it doesn't. So let's go and see what made a difference. In July 2016, we had 750 players and it went up to the peak of 4,552 players within 6 months. So let's see what happened there. Animal system, a new sedan, and a new mutant, the Brute. That's interesting. First time we brought in a big Brute. And the Brute is actually dangerous, not like the Spider where you can shoot him in the head with one bullet and then he dies and his poison isn't really that threatening. A lot of upgrades. We can kill pigs and different animals. We can pick them up and we can have fun with animals. And we can really try and kill this Brute, and see how tough he is. And we can break our cars. you know, and try and run over the brutes to get the guides in. And we can drive in new vehicles. That was great. Everything is great about this update. But why, after 6 months, weren't they interested anymore? Maybe because they didn't see the vehicles anymore? Maybe because they figured out the brute has a border, which I don't expect you to change. But they did see that the brute has a border. And that it only takes about 9 bullets to kill him, which is fair. But it's easy to kite him, okay, and to go stand behind something and make him run around it. So the threat of the brute went away. And then again, in May 2017, we had 1,300 players and it went up to 4,000 players. What happened there? Bunch of updates, nothing special. Okay, but the torpidity system came in and unconsciousness. So I guess there people really had some fun with, shooting people with tranquilizer darts, making them pass out. And now instead of running after a person and trying to rope him or handcuff him, or duct tape him, they could literally shoot him twice with a tranquilizer gun and then tie him up, put a bag over his head and do some role playing and have some fun with the guy, undress him and run around. There was a lot of creative things that we could do with the torpidity system. But that's gone as well. We're sitting with 670 players at the moment. And guys, the 670 players we're sitting with are these guys. These guys with these large bases are coming back once a month and just having maybe one person that checks up on the base, because they've got so many layers of walls. It only takes one person to run around the base quickly and make sure that nobody's trying to get through the walls. Because I promise you, I have raided one of these bases and I'll never do it again with the hatchet. It took me 7 hours to get through 10 walls. And as the other walls from the top was sliding down, the one guy came online, heard me hatcheting, sneaked up behind me and killed me. Okay, as easy as that. And a previous time I killed the guy in the base, started raiding him, and he just came back, waited for me to be comfortable, hitting the hatchet, and killed me with a pistol in the back of the head. And guys, these are just clans. If it's one guy, good for you, buddy. I don't know how one guy is going to build a base like this in a populated area, but this is not helping. Okay? The people are using columns, platforms, and various ways to make it impossible for one player or even a group of 3 to raid the base. I asked 4 players to help me raid, and within a half an hour they started making excuses why they needed to do something else. Their mother called them. They're missing a series on TV, or no, just plain telling me this is brain dead. Okay, and they don't want to raid. So what does that tell you? If I bring 4 guys with me, new players, that I just want to show them how easy it can be to go through a base with 5 hatchets. Guys, I got all the hatchets, I got all the equipment, and still it was boring for them. Imagine I had to ask them to get, 15 pickaxes, or build a raiding base, where we could gather the pickaxes and craft the hatchets and craft the pickaxes. Although getting the hatchets and the axes and the real pickaxes would be much better, because that does the most damage. Okay? And that's the quickest. But of course, crafting is as well. But you have to sit there for hours hatcheting, and it is no fun. So while we are trying to figure out what's going on and why this is so bad, you guys put in a mechanic that makes me vomit when I drink too much or eat too much. I'm sorry, guys. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of laughter that comes with this. But if you're looking at your hardcore fans, we haven't been laughing for a long time because we needed more effects on poison and more effects on radiation. And we asked for infection so that a mutant can literally infect us, you know, and that can be combined with the heat or with your body temperature, making your body temperature come up. And mutants, doesn't matter if the heat detection is poor, they still pose no threat. So the brute we can kite, and the spider mutant, the poison doesn't stack. Okay? Maybe we can pass out if we the worst, you know, PvPers in the world. But the poison doesn't stack. There's no, our vision blurs, you know, and then we can just, at our own time, go get a healing mushroom, you know, or anti-rat pill, get rid of the, a blue mushroom, or the blue mushroom is for the radiation, and the healing mushroom is for the poison. So yes, we can take our time until we run into a healing mushroom or antibiotics, okay, and get rid of the poison. And the same here, I've just run through a very radiated area, putting me on 29%, lost about 8% of health there. And now I'm going to run back through it. And there, it's done. 84% health and 60% radiation. And I got rid of it very quickly because I'm in a cave. But even if I wasn't in a cave, it didn't blur my vision enough for me to rush or feel any threat or fear. So the spider mutant is not dangerous to me because the poison can't affect me like bleeding markers can affect me. If a person shoots me 2 or 3 times, I'm in deep shit. When a spider mutant hits me 2 or 3 times, I can relax, take my time. And when my radiation gets above 50%, I can still relax. But I vomit because I eat and drink too much, instead of implementing the vomit into radiation or poison or infection. So okay, enough ranting about effects, not stacking. This is a prime example of how beautiful Miscreated is at the moment. And I'm sure Marco just loves it when he sees these kind of designs on all his hard work. And I know people, other elite level designers have helped him as well. But, you know, I followed his work from the beginning. And to the other guy, I'm sorry, but to everyone that worked on the level design, what do you think of this, of my screenshot? Does it make you happy? Knowing that this is the way people play games? Is that the only way to protect your loot, guys? Building it next to a river where everyone can see your base, instead of going to go build it on that mountain. You see that mountain right over that base there? Right there. I'll build a base there that you won't be able to see. Okay? And I'll hide loot boxes. There are ways for me to hide my loot instead of doing that. And guys, I don't care if bases gets raided, because the vehicles will respawn. Everyone will be able to get a vehicle. Okay? And here's just a small example of how pathetic this bow is. Without the optic sight. Or without one of the 2 sights that you can find. Which you have to go into a really dangerous area to find. You know, like the checkpoints. It's like in Okay, let's go a bit down. Whoa, that was almost on his head, but he's not dead. Okay, maybe I have to put a white dot on my screen, like most of these, guys that want to brag about their PvP skills and just shoot from the hip, Maybe I have to be lame like that. No, just take a crossbow, and get the shot through. Hit. And if I had another arrow, he would have been dead. So yes, guys, give us more things to craft. It can't be that difficult. And yes, if you add a new mutant, think about infection, guys. We haven't got enough threats at the moment. You want to put in the temperature system, and just imagine how great infection will work with the temperature, pushing your temperature up. Okay, and you needing a heat pack almost as an antidote. If you don't use the heat pack, you're gonna burn up. Okay, and if you don't get antibiotics or some kind of other medicine that can maybe spawn a bit more, you're not gonna get healed. Think about things like that, guys. And I really hope the next mutant you bring in is faster than what we are. Or maybe it flies. I don't care. Maybe it's got cybernetic limbs that's been made by Amalgamated. I've got no clue, guys. Just add more danger. Okay? Make the effects stack. There's thousands of people that agree with me on this. Since I've been playing for the last year or so, people have become more and more negative. Of course, the first point being of how unoptimized the game is and what kind of PC you need to run this perfectly, because it's PvP based and Hayward is the main PvP area and Cape Bay is a new area. People with slow PCs can't really PvP there, because any lag is going to be a major detriment to you and probably lead to your death. And again, I'm at a checkpoint, but I need people here, because the spider is no threat, the mutants aren't any threat. If a horde spawns, I can just run away from the horde. So if I'm an experienced player, I've got no PvE threats. And why would I want to make arrows with all those effects on if they can't stack? And if they stop at a certain percentage? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, here we are at a checkpoint, and we're getting more gear that we could have gotten ever. Even on a server with 40 players on, we're getting the ATs, we're getting the ammo. Why on earth would we want to loot a town if we can get all this crap from one checkpoint? So yes, guys, if you ever get to the military base, if you can ever loot the military base, that you can come out of there with more loot that I can come away from the checkpoints with, let me know. If you ever have a great run at the military base and you can look like a soldier, which I can clearly look like if I go through the military checkpoints once, make a video for me and post me the address. I'll go check out that video. But guys, there's not enough that motivates us to go to different parts of the map. There's no need at the moment to go to different parts of the map. That's why I say we need to focus on incentives. Little notes left in houses that can give you the location of a certain treasure. And you can use the grid map or the walkie-talkie to get to that location, that specific location. And then when you look down at the ground, there's an option to dig up or whatever. Maybe you need a pickaxe or a shovel or something, to dig out that treasure. That's just one thing, a note. Maybe there's keys that can open certain locks in other towns. Okay, and maybe there's certain codes that you can find or key cards that can open the new tunnels that you guys are creating, or the doors to great bunkers, you know, that you guys are designing. I know there's still a big bunker that hasn't been opened up yet, and I'm sure you guys have got great plans for that. So yes, maybe the key cards, you know, or the codes will be great for that. And you guys can always add new things, you know, new ideas or new objects. Like, for instance, when you climb up the roof to, you know, climb up the side of a house to get to the open roof, then between that junk that you have to climb on top of to get to a roof, you can put a safe in there, or a certain box in there, or a certain item in there, so that if I look through that item, I can get the scroll wheel and I can get something epic. You can incentivize me to look at a lot more things, search a lot more things, okay, to get great items. So yes, guys, I hope you've gotten the point by now. And I really hope you guys realize that we're on your side. That we want to see this game be the best, just like you. But that you need to look at the facts and make a plan about it. Guys, if you like this video, press that like button and let the developers know you agree with me. And if you didn't like this video, click the dislike button, okay? And let the developers know you don't agree with me. But in any case, guys, most importantly, have fun. See you guys next time. This Luthais. Cheers. One more thing, guys. I just want to apologize to Chris B for forgetting his name with the level designing. I know you helped Marco a lot. And to Marco and Chris Bronze and Matt, guys, I appreciate the feedback, and I appreciate you guys communicating with the normal people out down here. And to Terry, Lord Snafe, this video is especially for you, dude. Especially for you. Not saying it's difficult to get to you, but this is for you. I hope you take it to mind. And to my Discord friend that has always helped me, Kniff, you're a hero, buddy. Cheers.